I'm just gonna wait a minute, wait for people to pop in. I know this is quite rushed. I only asked a few minutes ago, but I'm here, so let's give it some time. People will arrive. Hello, I have someone already. Hi. So I don't know if you've seen my post, but I decided to come on here and talk to you about extensions while I'm currently extending my own dreadlocks. My own dreadlocks are up here right now. I have them all tied up. So I just wanted to explain what I'm doing. So right now I've got a few already extended in my hair, but I have some here that aren't extended, and then I have others here that I am currently extending. Hi Lisa! Hi Charity! So what I'm doing is I'm just going to basically run through with you of what I do. So this is an unextended one, and as you can see the end of it's like really rat-taily, and usually I wouldn't leave it like that, but because I'm going to add another extension onto it, I'm going to leave it like that so I can weave it in and out of the new extension. So what I do is I pre-make my little extensions with a fluffy end and a wispy, fluffy top and a wispy end, which will end up getting trimmed off because I don't particularly like this look. And when I add this to this wispy end that I've left on will get weaved in and out of the dreadlock, and then it will all be neatened up and tidied up, and then it will be just as long as this one that I'm doing now. But I will run through my method, so my crochet method, because that's primarily all I use. I have two different crochets which are my favourite. I have this one, which is my 0.75, and then I have this one, which is my 0.5, and then I have my lovely little latch hook. So these are my friends. These are my favourites. And I also have this dude. It's my thumb glove. As you can see, it's very worn, very used, but you'll understand why it looks like that in a minute. So I'm currently attaching this extension to this dreadlock that I've already had made, and you can see it's kind of all fluffy up here. All this fuzz right here all the way around, as you can see, is the top of this. And I just want to add, if you can hear squeaking, my daughter is just there. She's only 7 months old, so she's busy playing with her hands and stuff, so yeah, she will squeak every now and then, so just bear with her. So I'm gonna tuck all of these little fuzzies and flyaways into this dreadlock. So what I do is this is where the little thumb glove comes in. Hi Amber. So I place my thumb glove behind my dreadlock where these fuzzies are, which you can see. And then with my crochet hook, as you can see on, well, you'll know what a crochet hook is, but you've got like the lumpy bit at one side and the smooth bit at the other side. So I have the smooth side facing away from me and the hook facing towards me. And then I grab my extension. Where am I looking? Here. I grab my extension there. See all the fuzzies? I'm going to pull those in. So I hold it like this, and I have the hook facing me, and I put it through the lock. Now once it's through the lock, you can see it at the other side. I'm trying to make it so it's not so blurry, but here we go. What I do is I run the hook along my glove. See the glove there? This is why it's so worn. So I love, ignore me. I run it along the glove, and then I pull in the fuzzies that will be laying across the glove. Can you see some of them there getting pulled in? And I only pull it in halfway through the lock. I don't yank it out the other side, otherwise you're just going to pull fuzz from this side straight out to the other side. Then you're going to have to turn the lock and do it again, and you'll be here for ages doing that, and it'll just be silly and time wasting. So pull it halfway in and really kind of knot it into it. So I'll show you as I go. So I just pull, 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 and then I'll take it out, readjust it, pull, pull, pull. And what I do at the same time, because I use these two fingers to hold the lock, top and bottom of the crochet hook. So you have it supported at the back with your thumb, you have your two fingers, top and bottom of your hook, and you're going in like this and you're pulling in the fuzzies. So I rotate. So you know how you can rotate like this? I rotate up and down the dreadlock like this as I'm doing this motion and rubbing the hook along my thumb to pull in the fuzzies. So let's crack on with this. You'll have to bear with me with your comments and stuff. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see a thing. Okay, where do I get this thumb glove? Because let me tell you, my thumb and fingers get cut a lot. Oh my god, yes. Your thumb and fingers will get worn up so bad, and it's so nasty. And sometimes I've even ended up getting this hook go straight down my thumbnail, and I'm like looking at my nail like, okay, so my hook's in there. And it kills, honestly, it is not good. So you can get them on Amazon. That's where I got mine from. And if you were to put in felting thumb protection, you'll see these lovely little felting needles to do all your felting work with. And that's basically where you get it from. It's just a little leather glove. I mean, there's also another one, but I don't use it. It's for the finger. So you can march on like this if you wanted to and have complete protection over thumb and finger, but I don't use this one. As you can see, it's still brand new, it's got no marks on it. So I like to be able to feel what I'm doing. I use these two fingers here to really feel the fuzz and pull it into the dreadlock. So right, so yeah, I work with my 0.75 which is my bigger hook, to really knit it together and pull it in, and you'll end up with big bits of loopies at the side of the lock. As you can see, these little loopies there and here kind of coming out, but that all gets neatened up the second time round that you go for it. So I'll get there, I'll explain this. Let me just get to the bottom of here. So what else I tend to do is, if I think that I've got enough hair at the bottom of my lock, I use a little nip comb. This is my comb, and I'll just hold my dreadlock and I'll brush that back up like this, just like that. It's all fuzzy, and then I will start to palm roll it down to the fuzz, concentrate on the fuzz, and then it's there. You can see how it looks just like extra fluffy, and then you go back in with your bigger hook and then you just pull that together, just tighten it up a little bit, rotate it between your fingers and thumb. That's why I don't like wearing the other glove, the finger glove, because you need these two fingers to do this motion here, which is, as you can see with the rest of my dreadlock moving, it's rotating the dreadlock. So you're not just pulling in from left to right and ending up with a flat lock. You are rotating it around and pulling it through, so you still have a cylindrical shape, but you're managing to pull fuzz in, which is exactly what you need. And don't over press, don't over pull, otherwise you'll snap your hair, and that's not what we need. We don't want damage. Damage would be useless because you'll end up later on having weak spots, and then that's when they start to snap and they'll start to fall off, and then you'll just get really annoyed and stressed and think, oh, I'm not having extensions, this is a waste of time. So that's basically what you do. So I've gone down with my 0.75. I'm going to go back in now with my 0.5. Now I do this back to front. So I started up here where I put on my original extension, and I started at the top because you need to knit this in first, and I came down and attached. So what it would have looked like will be what it looks like on this side, which I'll do in a minute. You put it on here, you knit this into the top, and then you put this little rag tail and you tie it all in, and then you have a thicker extension all the way down to here, you see. So once you've knitted it in with the bigger one, I go back in with the 0.5, but I start at the bottom this time and work my way back up the dread. What I find that does is it makes it really like tight and less chance of it coming loose. So same situation as well. Have the hook facing you, have the flat edge facing away, put your thumb behind the lock, your two fingers on top, place the crochet hook through the lock, and then rub that hook across your thumb Don't forget to wear your thumb gloves. But run it across your thumb and use these 2 fingers to support your lock as well as move it back and forth and twist that lock round so you can get every like angle, just so you're pulling it all in, and then just work your way back up the lock. And if you were having problems with your roots and you're thinking, oh, I can't get this root thing going on and I need to tighten up this maintenance and it's driving me mad, don't put your crochet hook right in at that root and start howking away at it, because you're just going to end up really, really sore. Start about here, about an inch away from your root, right? Use the same technique and move slowly up. What that's going to do is when you start about here in your root, it's going to pull all your loose hairs from up here and it's going to pull them down. So you're not taking this hook and stabbing it almost into your scalp to try and get these loose hairs. You're starting here and you're pulling them down, because yes, they're loose hairs, but they're still attached to your dreadlock inside all of this. So you can pull it from right here if you want to and hurt yourself, but you can pull it from here and it'll work. You can pull it from here and it'll work, depending on how long your hair is. You're still, if you work at it and you don't pull too hard and you don't snap your hair, you're going to pull your hair down into your lock and you're going to tighten up your roots without being so aggressive on your roots, and you won't end up with a sore scalp. Because trust me, I've done that before and it hurts and you can't sleep on your head. And it's a royal pain. So, but that's kind of it really. I'm going to get onto this side in a second, but I just want to neaten this one up just now. But if you have any questions you want to ask me about stuff, anything that's going through your mind about, it doesn't even have to be extensions. My hair, all human hair obviously, and the extensions are also 100% human hair. I'm not a fan of synthetic. I have used synthetic though, so I'm not going to say don't get it. I used synthetic hair and I used Rovan wool dreads at the very, very beginning, years and years ago, to see if I enjoyed the look, if I liked the idea of it, and that's where I started off at. And it's a definite cheaper way to experience having dreadlocks, and the length and the weight on your head, you know, it kind of takes you through like a test run as to what you like and what you don't like. I mean, you could put it all in and think, oh god, you know what, I don't like this. And then you could sack the idea off. So yeah, you can use synthetic and woolen ones to try it all out with before you go into it like this. Because I did a silly thing and I brushed all my dreadlocks out at the start of lockdown. Mental breakdown probably. Totally regretted doing it, but I did, and I brushed them all out, and I was devastated. From the moment I got them out of my hair, I was absolutely devastated. So here I am. My locks are only, Christ, Lisa, if you're still watching, how old are my locks? They're about a month old. I love my dreadlocks. All the rest of them are up here, but I'll get them out soon and you can have a look. But I'm going to start with this other side. So here, this is this done from top to bottom, you can see, and the extensions there on the bottom. And what I'll do at some point is I'll just trim this little wispy end, because it's just too wispy. I don't like it. So that's one. But this is the difference between the extension length, if you don't count this silly little piece of fuzz. So I'll just fold that up. That's how long my dreadlock is to now. That's how long my dreadlock is. So it's added a good length, really. I don't know if you can see very well, but I'm trying my best. Don't judge. So the next one, let's see. I can use this one. So this is a pre-made dreadlock that I made earlier. So when I make my dreadlocks, on my extension, I have a lot of hair, just a lot of hair. And I take a small section, so about this much, and I leave it on the weft, and I take my comb and I back comb it until it starts to knot up like this, and I keep going until it's all knotted up, and then I palm roll it and maybe go through it once or twice with the crochet hook, and then once it's done I snip it off and I end up with this. Give me 1 second, I'm just going to give my daughter her dough. go. Good girl. Yes. Oh, and I'm back. Hi. So, you end up with something like this once you've done what I've just explained with that. And what I do, I feel the thickness here. This is why it's so important to leave these two fingers free and not glove it up, because you can feel the thickness of the dread, you can feel the thickness of your dread, and you think, right, that matches somewhere about there, so that's where I'm going to start putting it on. So I will hold it, so I have all the fuzz on one side and the dreadlock on the other side, and what I will do is I kind of wrap the hair around the lock. So I've got a bit of hair going all the way around both sides, so wrap it around. Then I use my bigger hook. So my bigger hook is the 0.75, and once again, same principle, keep the hook towards you, keep the smooth side on the outside, and just pop it in between the two fingers and against the thumb, and use it, pull it against that thumb through the dreadlock in a lovely motion, and just start pulling in those bits of hair. I mean, I haven't been here for what, 5 seconds, and I can let go of it. See, there we go. It's not fully on, but I can let go of it. So you just kind of crack on like that, and just pull all the hairs through, and you eventually get it nice and tight up there, so it won't go anywhere. I've still got a little bit there. So what I do is I just rotate it, because I work from my right hand to my left side primarily. So I just pull in and out like this, turning the dreadlock every now and then, just so it's secure. Turn it again, pull that through. So that's it, pretty knotted on to the horrible little tail end of my actual dreadlock. Then I give it a quick rub, just to make sure, get it all fused in there. There we go. And then just grab that crochet hook and just keep going. And that's all I do, really. So thanks for popping along and having a look and joining in and commenting. It's been nice. And I'll leave you with that. If you ever want to see anything else, any other videos and stuff, just message or just comment on this video, or comment on a post of mine or whatever. I post pictures, not all the time, but I do post pictures. So yeah, if you ever got any questions and you want to ask me, I'll do the best I can to help. Every loctician has a different way of doing the hair. Every person is different. Every hair type is different. So something that might work for me might not work for somebody else. So I could be sitting here giving you all the advice that I've got, and you could be going, well, that's good. It doesn't work for me like that. And that's fine. That's fine. There's no right and wrong way of doing it, as long as you're not filling your hair with wax. I mean, you're pretty set. So there, look how much of that little tail I've got left, just that little bit there, and just work it down and pull it in. I'm going to take my hair out in a minute so you can see this craziness going on. I've got a couple of wraps in here and a few beads and bits, so I shall show you what I have going on here. Let me just check this. Yeah. So that's that little tail in now. It's not there, see, all gone. So you can kind of see where it's still attached, where I've attached it, which is there. But when I go back in with my smaller hook, that's when the detail comes in. That's when you can really smooth it off. And like I said before, I start at the bottom this time. Instead of starting at the top of my extension and working down, I start at the bottom of my extension and working up, because that's what tightens it. Or that's what I found tightens it. I mean, everyone has their own way. You know, some people think palm rolling is definite tightening, and it does work. It does work. Root rubbing works the same way, and it does tighten. It's a slower process. But I've always found that running your crochet hook up your dreadlock once in a blue moon definitely just tightens it up And even if you don't do the full length of your dreadlock just to tighten it up, you can start, like I said before, start about here and work your way up to the root. You don't even need to get to the root and it will already be tight way before you get there. And you don't need to worry about pulling your hair and it hurting and all that kind of craziness that sometimes you get. It will be absolutely fine. It'll be fine. Just work your way up your dread in the technique I've just showed you. And you'll maintain your own roots. No need to come to one of me. You'll be fine. You'll be cracking on and doing it yourself. And you'll love it. Because I find it very therapeutic. I love to just sit here. Mind you, I'm sat on my floor right now, but still, I just sit and listen to music or watch the telly or have a chat with my kids. And I'll just sit here like this, watching them. Because I don't need to look at what I'm doing, because I'm using my fingers to feel what I'm doing. So yeah, I find it therapeutic with my own hair. So give it a rub. And there we go. That's extension number 2 on. See? Ta-da! Sorted. So hang on, where's that thing at? I put it in here somewhere. Ugh! Messy hair! Doesn't usually look like this. Hang on a second. Let me straighten this up a touch. I love running my fingers through my hair. I don't know who else likes doing that, but I just, I love it. I'm very much a kind of person that loves getting their hair played with. Not that anyone ever plays with my hair. It's just me. But I love my hair getting played with. So this is my hair. And like I said before, my hair's maybe a month old, maybe just over a month. I've had it locked, but I've had it locked before and I had it locked for years. And like I said, I brushed it out during lockdown, the start of lockdown, because everything just was manic. My head was a mess and I just had a baby and I didn't quite know what I was doing, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm gonna brush my hair out. And I regretted it straight away. It was like the worst decision ever to brush it out, but at least I worked out I could brush it out, right? So that was that. So I've got a few more up here that I need to extend. This is a tiny one. It kind of sticks out a little, and it's got that horrible wispy end that I don't really like. Because it's not that I don't like the wispy ends. I love the wispy ends. If it was thicker hair, I don't like the way that it's not very thick hair, and that's what I don't like about it. But I leave that there for when I, pop that extension on and then have a long one. But I've done a few. Let me have a tickety boo. I did one last night. It was ridiculously long. Oh my goodness. Why is it you can never find the dreadlock you're looking for when you're looking for it? Anyone else have this problem? You're like, oh, I have this amazing bead. Let me show you it. And you try looking for it. You're there for half an hour. You can't find it. So that's one that I've extended. As you can see, there is a clear difference between one that I've extended and one that I haven't done nothing with. So my hair is literally like all over the place right now. But hopefully, so I'll just sit here on the odd nights and I'll just crack on with it. While I'm here though, I'm going to show you my beads. This is the mission, finding you my beads. So this is one of my wraps. I put this in a few days ago. I love it. It's white thread and tealy blue thread, and I have a glass bead, but it has a crack in it here, so I'm not quite sure how long it's going to last. It might not last very long, but I have that one. Then I have these shiny things. I have 2 of these, a purple and a blue one over this side. These are just snide Pandora bracelet beads because they fit. This one was bought for me. I love it. It's just a little feather and I just think it's gorgeous. I have another big glass bead, and this one hurts when it swings around and whacks you in the eye. You're thinking, why do I have that in my hair? And then you look at it and you go, oh, it's really pretty. One of my favourites is under here somewhere. Oh no, I just felt it. There it is. This is my favourite. I just think this one's absolutely adorable. It's just so nice. So I keep that one close. And then I have my gem. So I stuck this in at my root. So it's like my little marker. So when my hair grows, eventually, after it's decided to shrink loads, and my dreads actually start to grow, this marker that's floating around up here will end up running down my dreadlock, and then I'll be like, oh my goodness, look how long my dreadlocks have grown. So that's why I have that one there, and it's super cute and I love it. Definitely something that you should stick in your hair. If you're only just starting your journey or just a few weeks in your journey, just whack one in there and watch the process, because it's a journey and it's beautiful. Well, thanks for stopping by and listening to me jabber on some shite. And I'll pop on a live another time. See you later.